The tensions between 50 Cent and Lil Meech have now morphed into a public feud that seems to spiral further with each passing week, leaving fans stunned and longtime supporters questioning where things went so wrong. Once seen as mentor and protege, the two now appear locked in a bitter war of words and reputations, with no signs of reconciliation in sight. What started as a promising partnership under the banner of art and legacy has now unraveled into one of the most talked about celebrity clashes in recent memory. The most recent flare-up occurred when 50 Cent, real name Curtis Jackson, took to social media to resurface old wounds and ignite new ones. According to All Hip Hop, 50 reposted claims that accused Lil Meech, born Demetrius Flenory Jr., of allegedly letting one of his friends take the fall for drug and gun charges during a police stop. That move alone would have caused murmurs in the entertainment world, but 50, being who he is, didn't stop there. No, he fueled the fire by adding a visual and audio element to the drama. On Instagram, he posted what looked like body cam footage from a police interaction involving Meech. The clip also featured an audio recording of someone who sounded strikingly like Meech apologizing and offering to repay the friend who allegedly took the rap for him. The posts instantly went viral, drawing millions of views, endless debates, and, unsurprisingly, fueling even more animosity between the two. What made the whole ordeal more jaw-dropping was the tone 50 Cent adopted to deliver the allegations. It wasn't your usual call-out. It was 50 in full-on scorched earth mode, weaponizing sarcasm and social media theatrics to get his message across. It all started with what appeared to be a lighthearted jab, but quickly snowballed into an all-out assault. 50 began by reposting a photo of Michael Rainey Jr., who plays Tariq St. Patrick on Power Book 2, Ghost, posing for a Tommy Hilfiger campaign and participating in the ceremonial bell ringing at the New York Stock Exchange. Seemingly proud of Rainey's accomplishments, 50's caption struck a different note entirely: "See what happens when you don't use drugs and spend all your money on Chrome Hearts jeans?" Anyone who's followed 50 Cent's social media antics knows that his words are rarely just jokes, they're strategic. That caption was loaded, implicitly taking a dig at Lil Meech's lifestyle choices, which 50 has openly criticized over the last year. Chrome Hearts, a luxury streetwear brand, has become synonymous with celebrities flaunting their wealth and status, but for 50, it's just another symbol of reckless spending and misplaced priorities. The underlying message was clear: Michael Rainey Jr. is doing it right, while Lil Meech is spiraling out of control. But that was just the appetizer. By Saturday, 50 Cent had escalated his campaign. The jabs turned sharper, the tone more contemptuous, and the sarcasm even more biting. He started referring to Lil Meech mockingly as a meme and accused him of being a private school kid, playing dress-up in street culture. The posts painted a picture of someone who, in 50's eyes, was not only ungrateful but also inauthentic. The irony here is stinging, considering Lil Meech plays his own father, a notorious street figure, in BMF, the Starz series that 50 executive produces. For someone portraying a man whose life was deeply rooted in the streets, being accused of faking that very persona is nothing short of damning. The accusations didn't stop at mere character attacks. 50 alleged that during a traffic stop, Meech threw a firearm and drugs into the lap of a friend who was asleep in the passenger seat, essentially setting him up to take the blame. "Yo, how you gonna throw your strap and drugs on your man's lap while he's sleep?" 50 wrote in a caption. Like, "Here, this your ass." It was a brutal commentary, one that didn't just question Meech's choices, it aimed to dismantle his entire image. While some fans were quick to dismiss 50's posts as just more social media trolling from the king of internet pettiness, others took the allegations seriously. After all, this wasn't the first time 50 had aired grievances about Meech's behavior behind the scenes. Their professional relationship, once painted as a heartwarming story of legacy, redemption, and mentorship, has been unraveling in public for some time now. The cracks in their partnership reportedly began during the filming of BMF. 50 had taken Meech under his wing not just as an actor but as someone meant to carry forward the larger-than-life legacy of Demetrius, Big Meech Flenory, Meech's father, and one of the most notorious drug kingpins in American history. However, things started to deteriorate when 50 became increasingly frustrated with what he claimed were signs of Meech's erratic behavior and lack of discipline. He went so far as to claim that Meech had to be sent to rehab during the shooting of the series. One particularly brutal post featured a picture of Lil Meech in a wheelchair, accompanied by Amy Winehouse's song Rehab playing in the background. The message was cutting. It wasn't just a producer disappointed in his lead actor, it was a personal betrayal. For 50, who had invested time, resources, and credibility into helping launch Meech's career, this was more than just about missed call times or a lackluster performance. It felt like being stabbed in the back. 50's criticisms also extended to Big Meech himself. In previous posts, he implied that Big Meech was negligent when it came to guiding his son. He insinuated that the elder Flenory had left too many decisions up to others, which made his son vulnerable to manipulation, poor choices, and potentially dangerous exploitation within the entertainment industry. And things reached a boiling point when Big Meech was seen publicly supporting Rick Ross, one of 50's most well-documented rivals. For those unfamiliar with the backstory, 50 Cent and Rick Ross have been feuding for over a decade. Their beef has included everything from diss tracks to lawsuits and even the release of incriminating information. So, for Big Meech, a man 50 had long defended and respected, to appear in a video expressing support for Ross, it felt like the ultimate betrayal. After all, 50 had played a pivotal role in keeping the BMF legacy alive through the television series, introducing a new generation to the story of the Flenory family. He had turned that legacy into mainstream entertainment and given Meech a platform most young actors could only dream of. But now, 50 claims that support was never appreciated. He believes he was taken for granted by the Flenorys, who, in his opinion, mistook loyalty for obligation and underestimated just how far he was willing to go to expose them once crossed. In his eyes, they didn't just bite the hand that fed them, they tried to pretend they never needed it in the first place. As the days go by, the fallout only seems to worsen. 50 Cent has made it abundantly clear that this is not just a spat that will blow over in a few weeks. His posts are deliberate, his words scathing, and his intention unmistakable. This is a scorched earth campaign. He wants to dismantle not only Lil Meech's public image, but also the mythos surrounding his rise in Hollywood. And as each post gains traction, the stakes grow higher. What makes this feud particularly tragic is the contrast between its origins and its current state. It began with hope, mentorship, and a shared goal. To bring the story of the Black Mafia family to life through an ambitious, high-profile television series. 50 Cent saw in Lil Meech not just a young actor but the embodiment of a legacy, someone who could step into his father's shoes and perhaps even forge a new path in the entertainment industry. But instead, that potential has given way to resentment, and what should have been a Hollywood success story has devolved into a cautionary tale. And it's not just Meech who stands to lose. This ongoing drama could cast a shadow over the BMF series itself. Fans are beginning to question whether the off-screen drama will affect the quality of the show, or worse, bring it to an untimely end. Trust, after all, is a fragile thing, especially in Hollywood. And once it's broken, it's hard to rebuild. With 50 Cent publicly airing dirty laundry, it's clear he's done keeping things behind closed doors. As for Lil Meech, he has largely remained silent amid this barrage of accusations. Whether that's a strategic move or a sign of deeper issues remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, silence can be deafening. And in the court of public opinion, choosing not to defend yourself often gets interpreted as guilt. Fans who once rooted for him are now divided. Some still see him as a young man under pressure, trying to navigate fame, family expectations, and personal demons. Others see him as someone who squandered an opportunity handed to him on a silver platter.